What's good, Commanders family? Welcome to another episode of Everything Commanders. I am your host, Dream Team Buddha. Listen, guess what? The Washington Commanders and Muriel Bowser in Washington, D.C. are so close to bringing the Washington Commanders back to D.C. where they belong. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Everything Commanders with your host, Dream Team Buddha. Hail to the Commander. Okay, so listen, before we get into this video, you know the drill. If you're new to the channel or if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn that bell notification on so that way I can keep you in the know with everything Commanders. Now let's get to this video. We just received some monumental news on today, y'all. Great news for the Washington Commanders, especially if you've been a Washington Commanders fan since the Redskin days back in the day. Yes, the Washington Commanders and DC is close to a deal worth more than $3 billion to bring the Washington Commanders back to the District of Columbia and build a new stadium at the old stomping grounds, RFK Stadium. We've been waiting for this, man. Listen, no disrespect to the Virginians or to the Marylanders, but listen, Washington belongs in D.C., okay? They are called the Washington Commanders for a reason. Now, I'm cool with them being in Maryland, or if they would have happened to go to Virginia, I would have been cool with it because I ain't going to too many games because I can't do too much of that walking. But that's a whole nother story. But listen, they are so close. It's not, the deal isn't done yet, but they are so close to signing them papers and the Washington Commanders returning to RFK Stadium. Yes, sir. You know what that means? That means that we get that old thing back. That means that we get to reunite. They get to come on home. They get to get from out of Landover, Maryland, and come on back to Washington. And they said it could be done by the 2030 season. Now listen, it's just early, they still negotiating, but Josh Harris already seemingly saying that they'll pay for the majority of the cost, up to $2.5 billion. Talk about putting your money where your mouth at. Hey, listen, man, the Harris Group and the manager partners of the Washington Commanders, man, they've been nothing but stand-up guys since they've been here. We couldn't say that about Dan Snyder. We couldn't say that about Dan Snyder. And since Josh Harris came in, that's when everything started moving and working out in our favor, y'all. I'm gonna read a little bit of the article on NBC4 website, y'all. It says, the deal isn't final as negotiations are ongoing, so the number could change. They still negotiating. But multiple sources familiar with the deal told News 4 that Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Commanders have framework for a deal in place that will see the team paying the vast majority of the cost to build a new stadium and much of the money provided by the city going for infrastructure that will support the entire 180-acre development. Woo! That sounds good. Now listen, do you know what that, outside of the Commanders, let's think about the benefits that it's gonna do for my city, y'all. Let's think about the benefits. You talk about more jobs. More jobs. People need jobs. That will help tremendously. Because whenever there is a new stadium and it's a lot of construction going on and so forth and so on, that could be a good thing. Now, I know it brings more chaos to that area, but you got to look at it like this, just like Muriel Bowser said. The demolition in all of them 180 acres is going to be created regardless if it's going to be a Washington football team, or will the Commanders or an NFL football team or not. It's going to be some construction going on. It's going to be infrastructure going on. So at this point, it's not about, the congestion that may be or any cons that could possibly take place with all of this infrastructure going on, because it's gonna happen anyway. It just so happened that with Josh Hirsch coming in, that eliminates most of the taxpayers' dollars, because a lot of people don't want to pay for the stadium to come back to DC. A lot of people don't want to spend their hard-earned taxpayer dollars to build the Commanders stadium right there at RFK site. That stadium ain't been for over 25 years. So you gotta understand, the way they see it is, shoot, they ain't in no hurry to be paying for no stadium. And it's a lot of people that will, but to those people that stood up at the town hall meeting the other day with Muriel Bowser, and she heard from them all, and she let them know, regardless of what it's gonna be some infrastructure going on. It's gonna be 177 to be exact, I believe, acres that's gonna be ongoing and developing. Now it say the Commanders will put up as much as $2.5 billion. They ain't playing. It say, and the district will provide up to $850 million. Documents obtained by News 4 show DC's funding will go towards what are referred to as eligible capital costs associated with the stadium and infrastructure for the stadium and surrounding 180-acre campus, including parking structures that will serve the entire development. Now, if you want to read this article, it's on NBC4Washington.com right now. I'm just going to read a little bit more for you all. For those of you that's going to be lazy and not want to go over there and check it out, it says the district's investment will be paid in installments, with the first $500 million paid out between 2026 and 2030 for various portions of the work as the stadium as infrastructure are completed. The other $350 million will be paid in 2032 through taxes generated from the new development to cover costs of the stadium or stadium infrastructure. The final contribution by the team could be less than $2.5 billion. Sources familiar with the negotiation told News 4. Y'all make sure y'all go check that article out, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check that article out, because the Washington Commanders coming to Washington, D.C. Woo! It's looking good, baby. It's looking good. And this is what I want. This is what I want for my Washington Commanders. I would love to see them, that burgundy and gold, back at that stadium. Back at that stadium. Now, I know they said they ain't changing the name. And Commanders has, grown a name for itself. It's kind of becoming a household name. I guess because of the success that we had last season, and since the management, just since Josh Hirsch and his management group has got here, things been on the up. So I really don't think they're gonna change the name. We already know they looking into making some additions, some tweaks to the uniform. But this is great news. Washington coming back to the DC, man, that's good, man. Now, how y'all feel, man? I always ask these questions, and some of y'all participate, but some of y'all don't. But I'm going to ask them. I'm going to keep on asking them, and one day, maybe, just maybe, you'll participate in these questions. Because I really want to know from you all, I wholeheartedly want to know, where would you rather the Washington Commanders play? In Washington, D.C., in Maryland, or Virginia? Tell me, drop it down in the comments. Where would you rather see our beloved Washington Commanders play? They already practicing in Virginia. They play in Maryland right now. But if this deal go through, they back in DC. Now, who knows if they'll still practice out Virginia and then, had a stadium in DC. Now, the stadium, Northwest Stadium ain't too far away from RFK Stadium site. So what say you, man? Drop it down in the comments. Let me know if you want to see the Washington Commanders in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. Let me know. That's going to do it for your boy. If you're new to the channel, or if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn that bell notification on so that way I can keep you in the know of everything Commanders. Listen, also, we now are offering memberships to this channel. If you gonna be one of my ride or die, you're gonna become a part of the family, man, make sure that you become a member to the channel, y'all. Yes, we have upgraded. You know what I'm saying? And also, if you love this content, this channel flourish and grow, hit the donate button, hit the $sign down by the like button if you're feeling generous. If not, you don't have to. I understand, but I appreciate each and every last one of my followers. And before I go, y'all know how I go. Let me get them left hands up. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Let's get it.